You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. Police finally reveal killer of NSAMA and Joseph KAUNDA. The women movement held UPND for adopting a female VEEP. Health Minister warns abusive health workers. In international news, protests against COVID curfew escalate in Gabon. And in sports news, Tiger Woods awake and responsive. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television. For non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage, Zambia needs Camnet television. For national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia, watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
With the details, my name is Liseli Kanyanga. A 25-year-old paralyzed man of Lusaka's Kanyama compound is calling on government and well-wishers to help cater for his medical expenses. Darius Matende has narrated to Camnet News that he was involved in an accident in 2018 that left him with a broken spinal cord, broken hips, and now groomed to his bed. And Monica Chitumbi, the mother to the victim, says she has been unable to receive the much-needed help to get her son to walk from the University Teaching Hospital, UTH. Ms. Chitumbi says she was told to raise 40,000 kwacha by the Italian hospital to get her son undergo an operation. That amount she says she cannot afford. Details in this report.
He is a fighter, a warrior with the heart of a soldier that refuses to give up on life no matter how hard the road gets. This is Darius Mwila, a survivor of an accident that has left him with a broken spinal cord, paralyzed and groomed to the bed. The accident happened in March of 2018 when Darius fell from an avocado tree. He was trying to get some fruits, not just for himself but for his mother's business, who sells avocados by the roadside in Lusaka's Kanyama compound. Darius, whose will is to live, has refused to give up on life no matter how painful his situation is. All efforts to get him to walk again have failed as his mother is unable to raise over 40,000 kwacha needed for his operation at the Italian hospital. With all the pain that he has to go through every day of his life, Darius is pleading with government and well-wishers to quickly come to his aid so that he can walk again and look after his mother, who is now of age.
na isha mu nshira yonse takuri abakunja furisha ko sumo buteko kusumanja furisha ko mandore kishabo imoni ngasungira abafyashi bandi muri oyani ngasungira abafyashi bandi swapanya ngo ninchikara ngwata na penyi ikuru yakwe bati shikere pamula nchikere ketemparayo kusumanja furisha ko mandore kishabo mo ya ninga sasungira mwa wafyashi bandi pandu nshkwete amaka kwe waningemi ninga ngabafurisha kwa wafyashi bandi mo ninga basungira.
And the 65-year-old widow Monica Chitumbi says Darius is her only surviving son, who she hoped was going to look after her now that she is of age.
2.4 chakupandeki UTH. After na stage, if but number muste wheelchair. And to take move nothing, probably wheelchair pantamakale kwanisho kumini. Number still mopo to afumina na nguna ya kujaba dimpe paper at mtampi kula mtora kufijo. Tapaba yo fijo ya kain. Tapaba yo nanguimu. Amolu yali bafina filafini yala sumana yali paralyzed. Chakwendele fya molu chali fuma chali kala no. Lo mungololo tawalunga mate chekale. So fidia yeke lokabula beodi ni fya shintirisha kuchibumba. Atakuli kuchibumba tete kale yo ala chitaso. Na dile ku St. Paul kudia ba St. Paul na basa number 40,000. Ba ine pana ndi muntu yawe sitapa benefena ba ushikale bafu abamwana. Kale mama 2,000 number 40 million kuti na ifunya kwesai. Ufuna ifidiro baye bila kuti twamulungisha twamugwesesha ifyo hadi pantala kumenja 30 years. Twamulungisha buno kwi. Nombe mpia ine 40 million ampesha manu pano shakata na pakumo kubuko na pakutampira. Shakwa. Funa bila tikanshinga na ku government tudimba government twasha ko kunga fuirishako ukutulo mwana ale kala fifini mwana.
Darius was a carpenter and bricklayer before his accident, a young man full of energy and life which has all been shattered following his accident. His hope to ever look after his mother may never happen if he continues to lay in bed, as is the situation now. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Women for Change has called on political parties in the country to uphold peace and condemn political violence so as to pave way for women to participate in the upcoming August general elections. Women for Change Executive Director Lumba Sinyanga has told Camnet News in an interview that several barriers have been hindering women from participating in politics, among them political violence. She stresses that women are naturally born leaders who, if given a chance to be in leadership positions, can transform the landscape of the political environment. She says politics and leadership should be seen as a passion and not a means to enrich oneself. She has since called on women in the country to take charge and contest for various political positions in the forthcoming elections.
Violence keeps away women from participating in politics, and it may also keep women away from going to vote, because at the end of the day, women are the majority voters, and if they are discouraged by violence, even to go and vote, it's very unfortunate, because those political parties may not get the desired results. So we are urging political parties, as we have seen the campaigns have already started. Let's make sure we maintain peace. We are campaigning in a responsible manner and condemning all acts of violence, especially towards women, because violence is bad. And it is retrogressive, and women not get the desired results if violence is perpetuated. So as a country, I think this is the time to put aside some of these barriers and just focus on quality leadership. Let's not even focus on which political party am I voting for. Let's look at the candidates, and as these candidates are given a chance to sell themselves, to profile themselves, let's look at what they are able to do and be convinced by that, and not look out for which political party you are going. Look for individuals.
The Non-Governmental Gender Organization Coordinating Council, NGOCC, has urged the new United Party for National Development Vice President Mutale Nalumango to lobby for the appointment and adoption of more women ahead of the August 12th polls. NGOCC Chairperson Mary Mulenga has congratulated Mrs. Mutale Nalumango for becoming the first Vice President of the UPND. She says the women's movement will support all women in all political parties. And Zambia National Women's Lobby Executive Director Juliet Chiwuta has called for unity among women in order to ensure a 50-50 representation in government. The duo was speaking at the UPND Secretariat when they paid a courtesy call on the new UPND Vice President Mutale Nalumango.
I think, ma'am, you are aware about the SADC protocol that Zambia has ratified, 50-50. And I was saying to myself, when I know that I think, President Hakainde is yet to appoint, I think, the remaining numbers. And I said, and by the way, he was my classmate at UNZA. Our wish, and I think, ma'am, you can lobby this, that really, if he's going to walk the talk, and he is aware of the SADC protocol 50-50, then the remaining numbers should be given to him.
Yeah, so as the Zambia National Women's Lobby, as the chairperson said, we are the chairperson of the coordinated elections campaign strategy. This was formed by the women's movement, anchored by NGOCC, to ensure that we support the women who will be participating in the 2021 elections. And this support will be done in all the country, wherever women are contesting elections, at whatever political party. We want to ensure that we have more women participating as councillors, as the council chairpersons, as mayors, and also as MPs. Even
it's not in government, I was whatever. But there's one thing, plain and simple, and today I'm very well dressed because we are the issue is, I just live life. Given an opportunity to serve, we have to serve with all our might. Yesterday, remember you watched? Yes. They were saying, what do you bring to the table? I bring simplicity. I bring love to work. It should not be about us. You are supporting us. It should not be about us. About my mother and her children. Oh, come on.
Meanwhile, the opposition movement for multi-party democracy has held the country's second largest political party in the country, UPND, for settling for a female vice president. On Tuesday, the opposition United Party for National Development leader, Hakainde Hichilema, appointed Mutale Nalumango as the vice president of the party. And MMD spokesperson Kefas Mukuka says the move is commendable and inspires women's participation in the national governance system.
Movement for multi-party democracy would like to congratulate Honorable Mutale Nalumango for her new appointment in the capacity of Vice President for the United Party for National Development, UPND. We surely have no problem with the said appointment. We are saying that because the composition of the National Executive Committee of the NMD, actually 65% of the said composition are women folk. And that we have done in line with the SADC declaration, which encourages organizations to include our women folk into positions of influence.
United Front for a Strong Foundation has challenged all aspiring candidates on the presidential level to a public debate which he hopes will see political parties share their vision for Zambia. Party President Brian Chisengalumbwe says a public debate will allow the people to choose a candidate with the right vision for the country. He says the road to State House should not be easy or left to be misguided party members only. Meanwhile, Mr. Chisengalumbwe has urged the media to help restore Zambia's democracy by highlighting issues that affect the country as well as the candidates aspiring to lead the nation.
To all the aspiring presidential candidates to meet in a public debate that will allow the citizens to see whether or not who has a vision for this country. It is very important that this is done because where we are now, political parties are holding conventions. And those political parties holding conventions have a constituency of voters following them. And thus far, it is clear that only 2 political parties have such a constituency enough to hold a convention.
Police in Lusaka have charged and arrested Constable Fanuel Nyundu, aged 25, a police officer, with 2 counts of murder, which occurred on the 23rd of December 2020 between 10 hours and 13 hours, in which a prosecutor of the National Prosecutions Authority, NSAMA, Chipioka, and also Joseph Kaunda were shot at and died. Zambia police spokesperson Esther Katongo says the suspect is in police custody and yet to appear in court. More in this report.
Wednesday, 23rd December 2020, Mr. Nsama Chipioka and Joseph Kaunda were shot dead by police who were trying to disperse UPND cadres at the time their leader, Hakainde Hichilema, was appearing for questioning at the police headquarters. Accusations and counter-accusations on who killed the 2 citizens emerged.
Our police officers, much as they can have their weaknesses, I don't think they are insane. I don't think they are insane to just shoot just like that. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think our police are insane to be just shooting people like that. I don't think so. You civil society, who brought this person who died in a bus from Chawama, who brought him there? Hakainde Hichilema is responsible. Hakainde Hichilema is responsible. All those people who got affected, it is because of Hakainde Hichilema.
Demands to review which police officer shot the 2 citizens never ended even after the report was presented to President Edgar Lungu.
We do not need the bloodshed. We do not need to see a repetition of what happened when HH was going to the police. Well, we lost innocent souls of our 2 brothers. NSAMA being one of them. A learned brother. May his soul and his family remain strong. And the KAUNDA as well. It was uncalled for.
Mr. Nsama Chipioka was put to rest on Saturday 27th December 2020, while Joseph Kaunda, a UPND supporter, was put to rest on Sunday 27th December 2020. It is worth noting that the death of a breadwinner always brings despair. For instance, the late Joseph Kaunda left 2 children and a wife. The wife to Mr. Kaunda, Memory Kalolo, only had one demand, which is to ensure that the person who killed her husband is known and jailed in order for justice to prevail.
I was shocked.
Wednesday, 24th February 2021, Police disclosed that they have charged and arrested Constable Fanwo Nyango, aged 25, a police officer, with 2 counts of murder for the death of Mr. NSAMA Chipyoka and Joseph Kaunda.
Police in Lusaka have charged and arrested Constable Fanwo Nyango, aged 25, a police officer, with 2 counts of murder, which occurred on the 23rd December 2020 between 10 hours and 13 hours in Lusaka, in which a prosecutor of National Prosecutions Authority by the name of NSAMA Chipyoka and also Joseph Kaunda were shot at and died. The suspect is in police custody and is yet to appear in court.
This brings a bit of relief to the family, friends, and the nation as a whole. Life is sacred. Hence, no one holds the right to take it. For now, we can only wait for the outcome as court processes unfold. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
And moving on in the news, a concerned citizen of Matero constituency has charged that the Chunga dump site is becoming a health hazard to the people in that area. Speaking when he toured the site, Captain Charles Masenge, who is also a member of the opposition movement for democratic change MDC, notes that the pile of refuse at the site is mountainous and the pollution is threefold, as all groundwater, land and air are all under constant pollution. Mr. Masenge says government should by now start thinking of recycling garbage and reproducing biomass, paper and plastics, among other things. He says this would in turn help Matero residents find gainful activities while serving the world and nature by not feeding it with all sorts of garbage, which also contains industrial chemicals. Chunga dam site is the only legal dam site in Lusaka and surrounding areas.
This is the area where all the garbage from Lusaka is dumped. As you can see, this is a major health hazard. You can see people walking, sorting out this garbage with no gloves, no boots, no nothing, trying to make a living out of this. This is a major health hazard. Something has to be done. Actually, I'm shocked that nothing has been done for the last, how long have we been independent? From 1964 to date. We have not found a lasting solution which is healthy and progressive. This garbage can be sorted out using modern technology which exists. We can build a recycling plant with a biocertification plant to recycle garbage, and from the remainder of the garbage we can use that to create energy, fertilizers, etc. Create employment for the people, create energy for the area. The technology has been around for a long time.
The Solwezi Municipal Council is concerned over the growing trend of slaughtering goats in public as opposed to designated abattoirs. Solwezi Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Esther Chira tells Camnet News that the local authority will not tolerate the act as it threatens public health. Ms. Chira says all those found wanting risk being fined a 750 kwacha as prescribed by the law. She has, however, stated that the council will be undertaking public awareness activities to discourage the slaughtering of goats in designated abattoirs.
Selling and slaughtering of meat in undesignated areas. This is a source of concern to the local authority because we have noted that there are some people that are fond of slaughtering animals such as goats in open places, that is public places, and this act is actually unlawful. So according to the statutory instrument number 12 of 2018, the local government street vending and nuisances, preparing and cooking meat on open spaces in places such as bars, bus stations or other undesignated places is an offense and attracts a fine of 750 kwacha. So as a local authority, We are discouraging such acts, that is the act of slaughtering animals in open places, as this is a health hazard to the general public. And of course, we shall continue to conduct sensitization programs to enlighten the public on the dangers of such vices, especially in markets and bus stations where such vices usually are undertaken.
Lusaka Deputy Mayor Christopher Shakafuswa has handed over a water supply improvement project materials to Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company. The water supply improvement project materials were made available by Water and Sanitation for the urban poor. Mr. Shakafuswa says the project is targeting household and communal water points that aim to get more customers connected. Mr. Shakafuswa notes that the current water supply in Lusaka is at 4,000 households. When this project is completed, over 80,000 households will be connected and 30 communal prepaid dispensers will be installed. The Deputy Mayor echoed the importance of residents receiving clean water as it improves personal and community hygiene for the people of Chazanga. And Lusaka Water and Sanitation Company Director Mr. Jonathan Kampata has appealed to the customers and community to pay the bills on time if they are to get maximum benefit of the investment and guard the infrastructure against vandalism. The government has released 1 million kwacha to Lukanga Water and Supply and Sanitation Company for the completion of water projects in Serendia District in Central Province. Minister of Water Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection, Raphael Nakachinda, says government is determined to ensure that people have access to clean and safe water. The minister says he will engage his Ministry of Finance counterpart, Walyangandu, to ensure that more funds are given to such priority projects. Mr. Nakachinda has meanwhile urged the water utility company to come up with bankable projects that ensure sustainability and expansion of the water reticulation system in the district. And Lukanga Water Supply and Sanitation Company Managing Director Yoram Sinyangwe has commended the government for the investment in the project.
Following through the marching orders His Excellency the President gave me on the day that he was swearing me in, he's very passionate about wanting to see every Zambian have access to clean and safe water. Not only that, but that service should be accompanied with sanitation services. Of course, as a country, we have the Vision 2030. Among them is basically wanting to have 100% achievement of our people accessing clean and safe water, as well as sanitation. So we are in top gear as a ministry to make sure that that vision is actualized, better still before actually the 2030 target year.
So these are just the equipment that we are using. Yeah, so they are quite small. Like we said, the plant is very small, it's not able to cover all these things. So we are implementing on.
We take our first set of commercials. Do stay with us as we have more interesting stories lined up for you.
You know I can take her a bake.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, Live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
Super cereal. Super cereal.
Super cereal. We always start our day with nutritious super cereal. It's so easy to make. Just add hot water or milk. Fortified with essential vitamins, gives you energy and keeps you alert. Super cereal is so good for you. Comes in 3 yummy flavors: original, banana, and strawberry, and tastes so good.
Easy Super Cereal is made from non-GMO maize and soya and is good for the whole family. Found in all leading stores. Quick and easy.
Tastes delicious. Full of goodness.
Makes you stronger.
Super cereal.
Easy Super Cereal. Brought to you by Java Foods.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Well, Amwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me.
Yes!
I already know the secrets. Oracle Pure Glycerin.
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Msika, allowing your business to grow.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. Health Minister Jonas Chanda says he will not tolerate health workers that are in the habit of mistreating patients. Dr. Chanda says it is regrettable that he has been receiving reports of health workers screaming at patients at health facilities. The health minister says the health profession is a calling, adding that he will not tolerate bad attitude from health professionals and mistreatment of patients. He noted that patients needed to be treated with respect and dignity and not to be traumatized. Dr. Chanda said this when he toured Matero and Chilenje Level 1 hospitals. Dr. Chanda also says he wants the face of government facilities to change, which will allow more people to get attracted to visit them.
Patients coming, going out with prescriptions only, and then complaining, because the reason patients come is to get help. Yeah, so we as government, I'm aware of some of the challenges. As you know, we're transitioning ZAMSA from Medical Stores Limited to ZAMSA now. Yeah, but there are challenges that we're also trying to sort out. But to make sure that we also stabilize the supply chain, yeah, because we need to make sure that essential drugs should be in every facility. And once they come to ZAMSA, they should be distributed as soon as possible. We don't want things staying there for too long, otherwise they will expire. So that is the issue. So the reason I'm here is just to do an on-the-spot check, verify, and they will receive a lot of complaints from patients. And I should also say, one of the complaints that we've received from patients are attitudes of health workers. Some of the health workers have very bad attitudes, shouting at patients, that bad behavior. We will not tolerate that, because see, the reason being a health worker is like a calling. You are there to save patients under very difficult circumstances. So those health workers who are in the habit of mistreating patients, bad attitudes, screaming at them, once we get reports, I mean, it's an indication that they don't belong to the system. We don't want patients who are already sick to have now more emotional and psychological trauma because of maltreatment from our health workers.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has reported that the country has recorded 11 new COVID-19 deaths in the last 24 hours. This brings the total number of COVID deaths and related deaths to 1,051 in the country. Meanwhile, the ministry reports that 902 new COVID-19 cases have been reported in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of COVID-19 active cases to 5,231. The ministry also says 3,067 new recoveries have been recorded in the last 24 hours. Minister of Health Jonas Chanda has appealed to members of the public to continue adhering to the said health guidelines to prevent the further spread of the virus. The Center for Trade Policy and Development, CTPD, has urged government to expedite the implementation process of key trade agreements such as the African Continental Free Trade Area. CTPD Researcher Trade and Development Emmanuel Muma says the free trade area offers opportunities that can help Zambia galvanize and stimulate post-pandemic economic recovery and foster economic growth in the medium to long term. Mr. Muma, however, says more work needs to be done before Zambia can fully trade and benefit under the terms of the agreement. He says it is important for government through the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry to implement the Free Trade Area National Implementation Strategy. Mr. Muma says this will protect the interest of the local industries and offer business incentives to help businesses endure adjustment costs in the short term.
The Center for Trade Policy and Development would like to urge government to expedite the implementation process of its national AFCFTA implementation strategy in order to guide and enable our local traders to start trading under a conducive environment and also enable them to be effective and to be competitive within the framework of the agreement. Now, during the initial stages of trading, we are actually expectant that government will take a leading role in identifying new markets in the parts of Africa where Zambia has not currently been exporting any goods and services, and make this information available for the use of our local traders. We also expect government to enhance its efforts towards improving infrastructure development and also implementing initiatives such as the one-stop border post and also other reporting mechanisms for non-tariff barriers, NTBs, in order to allow small-scale traders to trade effectively within our country.
Tourism and Arts Permanent Secretary Patrick Lungu has called on human resource practitioners under his charge to be the embodiment of mindset change transformation agenda in the ministry. Speaking during the official opening of the workshop for human resource practitioners held Wednesday, the PS says successful implementation of its mandate is unattainable without effective mindset change, disciplined staff and professionalism. He says mindset change requires strict adherence to the provisions of the Code of Ethics for the public service workers, hard work, integrity, honesty, and zero tolerance to corruption. Mr. Lungu says the ministry would continue to give support to both the center and the regions by ensuring that sufficient and appropriate staff are recruited and deployed. Meanwhile, the PS says the ministry is pursuing Treasury authority to employ revenue collectors. So far, 51 wildlife police officers are performing duties of revenue collection instead of policing duties. The workshop has brought together officers from the Public Service Management Division, officers from the National Health Insurance Management Authority, and members of staff from both the ministry headquarters and the regions would produce a team that would observe professionalism, loyalty, and service to the people. And moving on in the news, 4 Petauke-based companies have been taken to court for various offences abrogated while carrying out their businesses. In a press statement issued to the media by Chipata Area Manager Chansa Kalandanya stated that the said companies abrogated the provisions of the National Pension Scheme Act number 40 of 1996 of the laws of Zambia. She named the companies as MC Sangwani Agro Dealers, Fountain of Peace College of Health Sciences, Gold Spring School and New Line Lodge. Ms. Kalandanya stated that all the 4 accused companies were convicted by the Petauke Subordinate Court on the 19th of February 2021 for the various offenses they were charged with. She explained that public prosecutors under the National Pension Scheme Authority took the 4 Petauke-based companies to court for various offenses abrogated whilst carrying out their businesses. She warned that NAPSA would like to urge all employers to strictly adhere to the provisions of the National Scheme Act and ensure all workers are registered and being paid for as NAPSA is mandated to provide social security coverage for every worker. We take another set of commercials to stay with us as we still have more interesting stories lined up for you.
We have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Dr. Bigron, musaibala komutienda okuni gift na land. Uchitenkubeti uibise mojo basayone. Oh! Mwina mushi, nakuletera njinga. Latest inaluvesi gear na mawaipa.
Difficult ya shidia njinga. Liam 19 pendef kondo. Transport, we got it.
Nanga phone for communication. Ipu sana chizungu. Yeah, you see what I mean?
It's a camera difficult.
It's communication. We got it. Inemomi! Powerful system ndimba X-Buzz.
Mufumile kukalale. Na mnaimo muli bakumushi. We got it. Yo Bikron, utola inoleta nchemfule mungani. Ngecho wachira pose na nchitinshi. 1, 2, 3, both of you. Kabala ngempanga. Don't be stupid. We got it.
2021 is finally here. Zambia is at the crossroads heading towards general elections this August. In the world where fake news, biased reporting on national issues has become the order of the day, in a world where social media in most cases spills lies and exaggerated information, insightful coverage, Zambia needs one media. Living in a country where people are slowly promoting tribalism, hatred, bitterness and revenge, political temperature is heating up and people's hearts are perplexed. Zambia needs one media. Zambia being a Christian nation living under the lordship of Jesus Christ, the nation cannot afford a compromised gospel. Zambia needs a prophetic media house. For hope, peace and unity, Zambia needs Camnet television for non-biased, factual reporting, balanced opinion, accurate news coverage. Zambia needs Camnet television for national projects and development of our beloved country Zambia. Watch Camnet TV on channel 274 DSTV, channel 98 on Go TV, and channel 106 on Topstar. Remember, Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. In international news, Nighttime protests against coronavirus restrictions are being held in Gabon for the 7th consecutive night. In response, police fired tear gas and live bullets, killing several and injuring many. But the demonstrations continue as the poor citizens of one of Africa's richest countries demand their right to work to feed their families. In other news, riots have broken out at 3 separate prisons in Ecuador, leaving at least 75 inmates dead. Officials blame the riots at detention facilities on disputes between rival gangs. Hundreds of police are trying to regain control of the prisons, which are home to 70% of the country's inmate population. Al Jazeera has more.
Look at him, Aunt Georgina cries. I raised him like my son, such a gentle and calm boy, she says. This was taken moments before Jinky Mane died, after police shot him in the head. She says he had breached a government-imposed curfew to get food, but police say he was taking part in protests against the coronavirus restrictions.
See, they shot him like a dog, threw him like a piece of rock, treated him like a hunting animal. I want my child back. I want to bury him with dignity.
What's known as the Free Citizens started as an online movement calling for people to bang their pots and pans every night during the curfew. The protests grew and spilled into the streets across the country. In response, police have fired tear gas and live bullets to disperse the crowds. Several have been killed and many injured. Still, the night demonstrations continue. Fearing for his life, this demonstrator doesn't want to reveal his identity.
This is a movement of rebellion. We are not here to just destroy things and make noise. We want to be able to open our stall at night to feed our families. Our leaders don't understand our reality. They need to set us free.
Gabon is one of Africa's richest countries, governed for half a century by the Bongo family. While the family amassed huge fortunes, most Gabonese live in poverty. President Ali Bongo suffered a stroke in 2008. His son, Nourdine, is said to be ruling the country and has passed draconian laws infringing people's civil liberties in the name of protecting the population against the pandemic.
They recently pushed through Parliament very rapidly a law to decide how the political elite, as it were, would manage power if the president became incapacitated. People are not quite clear how far Ali Bongo himself has returned to the full leadership authority of the presidency.
Imani was in his second year of university when he died. In his death, Georgina didn't just lose her nephew, but someone she counted on to bring food to the table, in a country that has so far left her poor, isolated, and now grieving.
Families wait outside this prison desperate for news as the police and military move in to restore order. That's after gun battles and knife fights broke out between rival gangs, battling for control of 3 prisons on Monday night. Dozens of people were killed in the bloodshed. Others are fighting for their lives in hospital. There are reports of prisoners posing with the bodies of their rivals. Ecuador's President Lenin Moreno took to social media to blame the riots on criminal organizations. He said he'd arranged to exercise control of firearms and explosives around the prisons. In the largest city, Guayaquil, police patrols, bomb squads and helicopters surrounded the penitentiary. As smoke rose from a building, families could only comfort each other.
Everyone knows that all the prisoners have telephones. Our children told us last night that they were in danger and that there would be a riot at any moment.
What we want is that authorities pass us a list of people who died to know if my brother is okay.
Around half of the people killed were in El Turi prison in Cuenca, where rioters were filmed brandishing knives on the prison roof, waving for the cameras. And as the police secured the 3rd Cotopaxi prison, the injured were moved out. These jails are said to hold about 70% of all inmates in Ecuador and are often flashpoints for battles between rival gangs. Last year, 51 people were killed in prison disputes. And with riots occurring frequently, there's concern about the conditions inside the prisons.
We have a system which is meant to house around 27,000 inmates. But the way it's operating right now, we have over 40,000 in the system. This causes tremendous overcrowding, poor sanitary conditions.
For now, officials say calm has been restored. But with the gangs continuing to operate in the prisons, there's concern that calm may be short-lived. Laura Bowden-Manley, Al Jazeera.
We now get into sports news. Tiger Woods is awake and responsive following surgery on a serious leg injury suffered in a car crash in Los Angeles on Tuesday. The 15-time golf major champion, 45, had to be extracted from the wreck by firefighters and paramedics. A statement published on the American's Twitter account said he had suffered open fractures to his lower right leg and ankle. Injuries to his foot and ankle have been stabilized with screws and pins. Al Jazeera has more.
Tiger Woods suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries after a violent car crash near Los Angeles.
It was my understanding that he had serious injuries to both legs.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said it was a single-car rollover collision. Woods was the sole occupant of the SUV.
No skid marks, no braking. So apparently the first contact was with the center median, and from there then cross into the opposing lane of traffic, hit the curb, hit a tree, and there was several rollovers during that process.
The vehicle wound up lying on its side at the bottom of a shallow ravine. One look at the severe damage to the front of the SUV shows how violent the accident was. The outcome could certainly have been worse.
The front end was totally destroyed, the bumpers, everything was destroyed, airbags deployed, all of that. And however, thankfully, the interior was more or less intact, which kind of gave him the cushion to survive what's otherwise would have been a fatal crash.
Sheriff's deputies who pried Woods loose from the wreck say he was wearing seatbelts and that he was conscious, lucid, and able to speak with his rescuers. Authorities say there was no evidence Woods was impaired by alcohol or drugs. The 45-year-old golf legend was transported to a nearby hospital and underwent surgery. Tiger Woods is unquestionably one of the greatest golfers of all time. He won 15 major championships, including 5 Masters tournaments, 3 British Opens, 4 PGA championships, and more. As a person of color who dominated what had been an overwhelmingly white sport, he shattered barriers and expanded horizons for other athletes, inspiring many fans, young and old. Tiger, it was said, made golf cool. Woods has had his share of difficulties and embarrassments, including a messy divorce and the disclosure of multiple marital infidelities. It's still not known whether Woods will play golf professionally again after Tuesday's crash. Police say it may take days or weeks before they determine the cause of the accident. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Police finally reveal killer of NSAMA and Joseph KAUNDA. The women movement hail UPND for adopting a female VEEP. Health Minister warns abusive health workers. In international news, protests against COVID curfew escalate in Gabon. And in sports news, Tiger Woods awake and responsive. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which is coming from the book of Psalms 19:7-8. And it reads, "The instruction of the Lord is perfect, renewing one's life. The testimony of the Lord is trustworthy, making the inexperienced wise. The precepts of the Lord are right, making the heart glad. The command of the Lord is radiant, making the eyes light up. On behalf of the entire news production crew and myself, Liseli Kanyanga, thank you so much for watching Camnet TV News on Camnet TV, not just another channel.